Hey, family, and welcome back to the journey with Hamtonio. I got a little small on the trail segment that I just want to talk about. I know I've been away for a minute, but trust me, guys, I'm coming back at you. Got a couple interviews lined up. I just don't have as much time. Not giving you excuses, but working two, three jobs, president of two other organizations. I'm working on a personal project that I'll tell you about somewhere down the line. Just busy. Then family and friends stuff. It's just busy. But I haven't forgot about you guys, and I know you guys like good information. But in the news right now, we're talking about Trump and his third indictment. So that spirited a little conversation with one of my colleagues today, and so I decided to come on down here and just holler at you for a minute. Like I said, some material that I was working on, and it talks about it a little bit. It just again lets you know where we are in this country. That we got 70 plus million people still tripping on Trump in light of all the falsehoods that he's put out there, all the lies, his morality, his narcissism, and people still want to support it because he's their man. He's their man that's going to deliver this country back to them, to the few. Well, I wouldn't say the few, but to those percentage, I use the category uh, that type of percentage of people who have that lynch mob mentality, or this is my country and everybody else is weighing the country down type of mentality. Don't want to deal with reparations or talk reverse racism and dealing with Black history in our schools. Those type of individuals. Those Karens and all those. They have chosen Trump. Trump is the man, irregardless of what he does, what he stands for. Him as a human being, as a person, as someone you want to follow and put your trust in. Now don't get me wrong. The whole game of politicians, being in politics, it has its ugly viewpoints, and it's not clean, and we know what that is. We know what it's about. When our leaders, give us campaign promises and things like that. But we usually kind of stomach it for a while, just as long as you ain't blatantly just abusing, the situations. But what I want to talk about is that these people who follow him, regardless of what he have done, right in their face, and still choose to follow him, irregardless. Their moral compass is just went out the window. So what is it that inspires them to still back this guy? What is it that he have something on them or something, or what? What's because you had some serious politicians who jumped out there and was really talking about him in the beginning, and then just changed up and switched up to support him. But I have to say publicly right here, I have to give John Kasich and even George Bush their props for taking a stance of them being Republican. I know they was pressured, and they didn't want to have nothing to do with Trump. So I have to give them their props, and we have to give them their props for standing there. So let me get into it a little bit. What I'm wanting to say, with this whole election fraud stuff. Come on, we got to remember. Come on, people. Now these is for these folks who just seem like they just lost in oblivious somewhere. I don't know what's going on. Trump was the president at the time. Biden was a citizen at the time. All of Trump's people was in place, from the attorney general to the postmaster general to the head of the Pentagon, all these people in the Pentagon, to Homeland Security, you know, FBI, in the White House, the judges, all these people, were in place during this time of the election in Trump's pocket. Biden was a citizen. If you remember, Biden was leery of the whole COVID situation. Most half the time, prior to the election, Biden was in the basement. So how could he orchestrate a steal like he's saying right now with these falsehoods? I said, if Biden is able to do that, then he's a bad boy. He need to be president. If he can operate this and orchestrate this in his basement, the boy needs to be president because he's a bad boy. But he got these folks still believing that, you know, still believing it. He tell you a lie. You hear him on the telephone asking for the votes. You see what they did with the false electors right in your face. The stuff that they got on social media and stuff that he said about stoking a riot and things like that. Most of the people that testified against him were Republicans, not Democrats. They were Republicans telling what he did and what was going on. Oh, he got to come out and say fake news. He's a scumbag. Everybody that says something against him, now he's a scumbag. You know, come on. I mean, this should be a wake up call for everybody, especially my African American brothers and sisters. Let you know what country you actually is living in when you got people, in spite of all of that, still following this man's situation. And we won't see the situation that we in and try to do better with ourselves. I'm telling you, it's all about karma. It's all about karma coming down and coming back. This little time that America has rose to power and dominating the planet like this, that's a short time when you start dealing with time frame. It's a short time, short period of time. And if you believe in anything in spirituality, you can't keep getting away and doing the things that you have done. I mean, there's so many atrocities that has happened in this country that we don't even know yet, that has yet to be talked about. Has yet to be talked about. Throwing slavery and all the rest. They never talk about how the little boys was abused. We talk about the girls, we don't talk about the boys. Somebody own you like a piece of cattle. The police is not coming to defend you. Anytime they want to get drunk or clown, anything, just their imaginations just can go wild and do anything they want to do to the girls and the boys. Because we know they got a lot of these folks got a propensity for wild sexual behavior. That's been, you go all the way back to Caligula, all back to Europe, Greek, and all the rest of that. Dealing with the priests and everything till today. Look at all the pornography that's in this country and the stuff that you see. Who we learned it from. You see? So you can imagine what they was doing to the boys. See? Here's the reckoning. See, if you don't think there's going to be some karma in reference to that, then I tell you what you do. All your prophetic writings, all your books of holiness and wisdom, and stuff, just throw them away and just go out there and do anything that you want to do. If you think America's never some karma is going to come back and spank America's behind. If you don't think that, then fine. That's why I say you should be cautious. You should be very cautious in this particular time. Because we got a population issue right now. That's where the fight is. That's why Trump is their man. Come on, in the South, they talk about no abortions, even with rape and incest. Come on, come on, it take a genius to figure out what's going on. We talking about numbers. They're down 17% in the census report. And this is just not in this country. This is around the world that we talking about. You got issues with population. Biden admitted himself by 2040, 2050, this is going to be a brown and black country. That's why folks are lining up for this Custer's last stands. to put laws in place to reverse it, to keep control and power control on what's going on, man. Come on, man. Get off the football game and all the rest of that junk and pay attention. Because your safety is at risk at this particular point. Now folks are desperate. That's why you got your militias rising up and doing the thing. I told you before. Go listen to a YouTube video from Barbara Walters, not Walters, Walter. It says how civil wars start. Listen to some of the things she say. Ain't gonna be red coats, blue coats. It's gonna be all those little sporadic little mall situations and parties and gatherings. This is what we dealing with. So that's what I'm saying. Be cautious. Pay attention. Just don't be all oblivious to what's going on around you. See what's gonna have to happen. See some of these problems that we're gonna be facing, tough times we're gonna be faced right now. It's gonna be karma coming back because America never faced the wrongdoings that they've done to the Native American and the African Americans. You got folks still fighting. You sit up here and pay, folks all over the planet for their atrocities as far as people is concerned. Japan, we're still paying the Jewish community. For Israel, we pay them millions and millions of dollars every year. Just look it up in Google how many countries we pay millions of dollars every year. But here we are. We got some people who built this country. I mean, literally built this country. And you still got people tripping about evening up the playing field. Can you imagine all the mental stress? And they talk about epigenealogists, and epigenetics, how you carry that stuff on and how you pass that stuff on. Black folks ain't been on nobody's couch to deal with what's going on. And we ain't talking about all the psychological stuff that's been created through all the negative imagery that we received as a kid all the way growing up about blacks and stuff. Black folks built this country. And you got folks like to go around with their chest poked out that I come from America. I live in America, the greatest country in the world. Let me say one thing. I got this in some information that I'm putting together. We talk about this. I'm talking to my European brothers and sisters right now. If you started a business and you ain't had to pay nobody for 1 year, your likelihood of success is pretty good. For a whole year, you ain't got to pay nobody labor, but they working for you. Your chances of success have greatly increased. Now you imagine not paying somebody for a few hundred years and you exporting cotton, rice, textiles, and things of that nature. Now you see how America got to the place with it, where you can invest in infrastructure. You can invest in higher learning institutions. You can invest in your military might because you ain't paying nobody. And they said cotton was a major part, 40 to 50% of our gross national product. And those want to walk around here with their chest poked out. I'm American. I built this country. Yeah. You should be thanking these black brothers and sisters. See, but then you turn around and don't want to deal with it and don't want to be fair. That's why you're going to get spanked. That's why the creator's going to come down on you. Because you don't want to be fair. Don't want to address your wrongdoings. Black folks is not vindictive. If you came clean right now because of our conditioning in this country and how much in love we are with America and still romanticizing America in spite of all the things you have done to us, we wouldn't do nothing. We just be so happy, tickle pink, that we getting a fair share. And that's what they say. Some people are afraid that if they came clean, that we would turn the tides on them. No, we wouldn't. Black folks wouldn't do that. Here's a wake-up call to y'all. We wouldn't do that. They're just the type of people that we are. We asking for a fair shake. So until America straighten up their act and come to grips with it, we're going to have some issues here. Black folks, I'm talking to y'all. That's why you should be paying attention. But you can see the efforts that are going on and taking a hold and prospering all over the country of these rollbacks that they're working on. This is Custer's last stance, y'all. So please, my folks, and it just be so obvious to me, I don't know, some people say, what I'm about to say, it's not nothing deep, but about fluoride and things of the nature. It's a couple people who wrote books, and you can go to YouTube videos that talk about fluoride and how it calcifies the pineal gland. Our ancients said that's where God dwells, and your spirituality is in that pineal gland. And they said fluoride helps to calcify it. And it's a claim that Nazi Germany used fluorides to make the prisoners docile and easy to be controlled. So I tell you black folks, then maybe you need to stop taking the fluoride and get you some fluoride free toothpaste, because it seems like the only thing that gets you excited and get you interested in anything that talk about civil rights is when our black boys or something get killed by the police or something to that nature. We'll get the mamas raising up, mad then, but we ain't mad during the rest of the time. Then that fist slowly comes down after a while, and they go on as business as usual. Where's the Black Lives Matter movement? All the rest of it. Where's it at? What's going on? Have they paid our leaders off to quell any kind of movement that we have? Like Dr. Umar say, deal brokers. Have they gotten to our deal brokers to calm the natives down, throw you a bone and throw you Juneteenth, to quell anybody? They had a little video going around on Facebook talking about how they take our great ones out of our community as our smart ones, and they take them and give them scholarships to go to Harvard and things like that. That's purposeful, because they say they don't want to leave those great minds into the community, because you might think about something, you might come up with something. You see, you might inspire something, inspire a movement or something. So they have to take you out of your communities and indoctrinate you with their way of life and their culture and sell you that American dream situation. And now you striving to show them that you ain't like the other Negroes, that they have a stereotypical way about belief in. So I'm different. So I go to your houses and live out in your communities, and I do this and I talk proper and things of that nature. But you never reach to and become one of them. You never do that. And then now the blacks here, they look at you all strange because they see you trying to assimilate into being somebody else. So we think you better than us. So now that talented person, that talented 10 person, is between two worlds. And as I said, that was the plan. Now you're stifled and you don't do nothing. Now you don't know what to do. Culture, people. What everybody got that you ain't got is a culture. What does a culture do? Teach you how to do business, how to resolve problems with the purpose of a man, woman, and child. Your culture and spirituality runs together. And like Dr. Amos Wilson said, culture is economics. If our culture say we wear these black hats, guess what? Somebody in the community is going to make these black hats. If we eat a certain type of foods or just another. So culture is economics as well. Gives you traditions, gives you rituals that supports the community. A culture is an indoctrination. That's what it is. And your culture should serve you and serve the community. That's what it should be doing. And that reminds me of something before I close, like Dr. Amos Wilson said about your God. Your God should serve you. He said you should not only just serve your God, but your God should serve you. You said that covenant that God give with that God that talks about in the Bible It's an agreement. It's an agreement between you and God. Think about it. It makes a whole lot of sense. It's an agreement. God said, if you do A, B, C, I'll do X, Y, Z for you. That's an agreement. That's a contract. So you should be getting some out of it. So if our God is not serving us, so maybe we worshiping God wrong. Because I can say right now, we getting our behinds whooped across the board. So that's why we have to look into something else. We can't consume our way out of this stuff. How basic of it seems is what we talked about all the time. You know, coming together, coming together, coming together. I know it's difficult, but I say let's start to the source, the root, the foundational stuff. Some of the things and principles our African ancestors and brothers and sisters laid down is priceless and timeless. It's foundational. You you've been here for the longest on the planet. You should know what a community needs to strive. You should know what marriage is. They learned all these things, and it's things that we can learn. Europe can't teach you nothing how to be black. Go back to the source. And to fix our economic problem in the way we are right now, it's going to take a different approach. You can't go around always talking about pay me, man. You got to pay me, man. Shoot, black folks ain't got no money to pay you. You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do this another way, another type of exchange that we're gonna have to develop amongst ourselves, and there's ways to do that. If black folks got a hold to, to certain things, we'll develop a new way of doing something if we had the freedoms to do it. That's just how talented we are. That's what we do. But we are in love. We won't look any further. We stifling ourselves. We are comfortable the way things are. And we let our talented 10 go out there, or our talented ones that's in entertainment and sports like that. We send them out to the wolves to be devoured and for them to lose themselves. Not getting them while they still in ninth, 10th grade, 11th grade, and letting them understand what their role is in the job uh, when they be successful, what they have to do. They say if your educational system do not fix the issues and concerns of today to our children, then you're just wasting your time. You're never going to do anything. So if we don't have the schools, then somebody need to open up the Saturday Sunday schools and all these old vacant storefronts that you around here. That's teaching our history, that's drilling down and getting into that mindset of that information and letting them know that he is the change. He has an obligation to be guardians to his community. So we just wasting our time. If we're not talking about doing some things like that, wasting our time. But he got you so divided with religion and all the rest of the stuff, and the common enemy and the common problem that we all have, we can't even get together on it because of some called religion or this or that, light skin, dark skin, however they did during the Willie Lynch syndrome, causing us to act and respond to each other. So the question is, when is we ever going to wake up? So my people, stay tuned. I, I've been saying it for a while. I do have some good stuff on the horizon coming soon. So subscribe, hit the like button. That maybe encouraged me to come back to the platform and deliver. We got Brother Sekou from Liberia. He's coming on. Brother Umar is coming on. I told you before, Professor Small. I'm trying to get with King Ponga in Zimbabwe. They 7, 8 hours of difference. So between my schedule and their schedule, it's very hard to coordinate some things. So, but I'm working on it. So until then, my people, subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned and stay plugged in. And above everything, stay conscionable. If somebody come to you with another way of doing something, don't shoot the brother down because he don't have a couple of initials behind his name. You know, you don't have to wait for the man to validate everything for you to do. If it's good for us and good for our community, then you don't need no validation. We didn't have to wait for the man to give us Juneteenth. You see how we are. You see what the how deep the psychosis go. So until later on, my people, I wish you peace and harmony, prosperity. And if I had to go back biblically, I would say what Solomon said that I pray for is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And with that, everything else comes after those three ingredients. All right, my brothers and sisters, peace.